The WWE has been absolutely cooking lately with their factions. Just look at the factions that's been built and that are keep going on. We have Damage Control, we have Judgment Day, we have the Street Profits that are finally picking up steam, and of course the big one, the Bloodline. But the Alpha Academy that was floating around in the mid-card and everyone cared about them, but they weren't really that big. They didn't really have that staple moment, and now they do. Because with the heel turn of Chad Gable, things are looking very different with how Alpha Academy is going to be moving forward. Are they going to be a heel faction? Is Maxine, Tozawa, and Otis all going to separate from Gable because he's being too much of an asshole? Is Otis going to be Gable's tag team partner and be his evil little partner? Or Otis and Gable going to feud? What are they going to do with this group? That's what we're here to talk about today, so let's get right into it. So we all know Chad Gable and Sami Zayn had their match where Chad Gable got his opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship. And after Sami won that match, Chad Gable decided to turn heel because Sami kind of rubbed it in his face that he won, putting the title out in front of him, saying, "Good job, you almost got me, but you're not there yet." And this very much infuriated Chad Gable, and since why he is heel and acting the way he is right now. So with his change in attitude and demeanor, he is talking differently to Alpha Academy, his friends, his family that he's been with for years now, and Otis, his top guy. They've been together forever. They were tag team champs in the past, and now he's calling them disappointments and failures, and they don't like it. I do think Chad Gable will be the one to end up dethroning Sami Zayn from his reign, and I think it's as soon as Clash at the Castle. I think they need to put the title on this guy, and then they need to tell the story of Alpha Academy however they want to tell it. They can tell it with them being a heel faction, they can tell it with Gable separating from them, they can tell it with Otis joining them, and they can tell it with him feuding with Otis. There's a bunch of different ways that this can go, and we're going to talk about all of it. I think that once Chad Gable finally wins this Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn, that the Alpha Academy is going to slowly start to split up, and they're going to tell the story of Gable being an asshole to them, and everyone kind of talking backstage behind his back of how they don't like how they're being treated, just like how the Usos and Solo were talking how they didn't want to be treated by Roman Reigns. And I think it will be a great time to push Otis, his number one top guy, to kind of be like that Jey Uso type to Roman Reigns and start feuding with Gable. Because let's be honest, just like Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, Otis and Chad Gable have a great long storyline to tell, and this is again Triple H telling that long-term storytelling and not giving up on these factions like Alpha Academy. So I think Chad Gable wins the title, and then they tell the story of Alpha Academy slowly breaking up, and then Otis kind of being the big dog to step up to Chad Gable. But then you ask the question, what happens with Maxine Dupree and Tozawa, because they're also a part of the group? And a lot of people aren't going to like my answer, but I think it's just what's going to happen. I think that Tozawa is great. He's hilarious. He's funny. We all love him. But I don't think there's actually enough space for him to stay on the main roster and still kind of get TV time and those backstage promos once Alpha Academy finally breaks up. I think the best option for Tozawa is actually move down to NXT and kind of rework his character a little bit, but still have that same passion and funniness behind it. Just look at Baron Corbin. He was in the WWE, he was kind of floating, and then he went to NXT, and he completely revamped his career, and now he's back in the WWE, and we're all excited to see what he has to offer. So I don't think it's a bad move at all. I don't think it's a demotion. NXT is very, very good right now, and I think Tozawa will be good down there as a top guy. And then we got Maxine Dupree. She used to be a manager, and now she's slowly trying to become a superstar. And we all kind of see in the ring that she's still learning stuff, but she's more of just a character worker. She's more of like that girl in the faction. She doesn't really do a whole lot. So in my personal opinion, I really liked her work with the Maxine male models and how she was trying to still be with Otis. So I think her and Otis can pair up, and she can be kind of Otis's manager, and she can kind of go back to that gimmick. Or she could keep trying to be a superstar like she really wants to be, and she can link up with Becky Lynch. She can keep working with Ivy Nile. There's a bunch of different ways Maxine can go. She can even go down to NXT with Tozawa. There's really anything she can do. It's whatever the WWE wants to do. Me personally, I think she would fit really well as a manager. But if you still want to make her wrestle because she is so new at it, you can still do that too with her and Ivy Nile. So Gable and Otis, I think that yes, this is a mid-card feud because it's for the Intercontinental Championship, but this has potential to be like as fun as a main event, as interesting as the main event. They have such a long history together with friendship winning tag team titles all the way back from 5+ years ago. and they can really tell this story and show clips for them in the past being the best of buds, and it can really be emotional and hit hard. Another way they can go about it, just how Candice LeRae turned Indy Hartwell heel, Chad Gable can do the same exact thing with Otis, and they could be that unstoppable mid-card heel duo that runs that division. Think about it. Chad Gable as that champion and Otis as his big security guard, still his number one top guy, and they're friends, like, outside of WWE, so they still might want to work together and not fight against each other, like how it would be if Otis went after Chad Gable for his Intercontinental Championship. Like I said before, and I keep talking about him, Triple H has done a fantastic job with these factions. I've loved every single one that they're building up, and I can't wait to see what they do next with Alpha Academy, because it really has been built up over time and years and friendships and bad times and good times. Like, you're at the top of the mountain sometimes with Gunther, and then after Gunther, you fell right back to the bottom of the mountain, and now he's building his way back up as his heel run, and I'm excited to see what they do with Otis and him, and I think it's all going to play out really well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think Otis is going to turn heel with Gable, or do you think Otis is going to stand up for Tozawa and Maxine Dupree and be that guy that feuds with Chad Gable to try and win that championship and take it off him and end his reign of terror, or whatever you want to call it? That's it. I'm done. It's been your boy Drew Dimes, and I'm out. Peace.